A very good morning to you. I hope you're all right today. It's the end of another week, Saturday. And my thought today is linked with something that I and my daughter usually do at the beginning of every year. And that is not make New Year's resolutions, but write a list of things we want to achieve in the year. Maybe you do something like that anyway. And I was thinking about this wonderful book that we have, the Bible, this How to Live Your Life for God manual, how to make the most of your life manual. This is how you are made, and this is how you're meant to live your life, and these are the pitfalls if you don't. This wonderful book that gives us wisdom and understanding and ideas about how to live our lives. And I was thinking, maybe in these January days that tend to be long and dark and cold, and there's not much in us that wants to go out, and we're not allowed to go out much at all either. Time is hanging heavy on our hands, and having had this last 9 months of limited interaction with people, we need a purpose. We need a purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. So we need a purpose. And maybe one of the things to do is during these long January days, is make a decision that you will read each of the letters of Paul at one sitting. I'm not talking about Romans or Corinthians because they're the longer letters, but they were written as letters: Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon. Most of them are 6 chapters or less, and those chapters are artificial. When they were written as letters, and they were read probably at one sitting to the church. We tend to read them in small bits, in snippets, and it is a good thing, I think, to do that, to look at particular verses, focus in on particular verses. But it is also a good thing to get the whole sweep of the letter. What is Paul trying to say to this particular group of Christians? What were the problems in that church? And to see the way that he writes, the pattern of how he writes. And starting with Galatians, make a decision that each day for the next couple of weeks you're going to read one of his letters in full, from start to finish, starting with Galatians. And you will be greatly blessed as you see the whole. There are different ways to approach the scriptures. Sometimes we approach it searching for one particular word and finding it, all the verses that contain that word, and learning what God means by how he uses a particular word. But this idea of reading larger portions is very good. It's very helpful, because sometimes we can take verses out of context and misunderstand them, and make them say perhaps what was never intended. We need to know the whole wisdom of God. So that's my thought, that maybe this is something you could aim to do. It would give you a reason for something to aim at each day in the next couple of weeks, in these dark, difficult January days. So that's my thought, is let's have a go this year at reading larger portions of Scripture rather than just verse by verse, as perhaps some of us do. Perhaps you use Bible reading notes, and they tend to have just one verse at the top of them, and you never really read those verses in context. It's important to read in context as we study the Word together. So that's my thought for today, that we read a book each day and see what the Lord has to say to you through the letters of Paul as we start this new year. And have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.